The Queen's Gambit is a 1960s set, 7-episode drama miniseries that debuted on Netflix recently, based on Walter Tevis's 1983 novel of the same name. The Queen's Gambit stars Anya Taylor-Joy as Beth Harmon, a young orphaned girl who learns to play chess from the custodian who works at the orphanage in which she was raised. While rising to become the premier chess player in the world, she has to deal with the untimely death of her mother, her dependency on substance abuse, and her reluctance to reconcile with her own emotions through her fleeting connections and relationships with other people. It's pretty heavy stuff for a show about chess. This was a series I was a little bit slow to catch right out of the gate, which snowballed into a massive smash hit pretty much overnight. It wasn't even on my radar at first, and when I settled down to start watching it, I thought I had the series pegged. I thought I knew what was going to happen before it had even gotten running. I figured it would be a scathing critique of the 1950s, 1960s male-dominated society. I thought it might be another women's empowerment movement-inspired piece of media. Just so we're clear, there's nothing wrong with this. It's incredibly fertile ground to be covered, but it's also landscaped well-walked. What really surprised me? This was not The Queen's Gambit. The Queen's Gambit is not a comment on the times, even though it is. It's not a celebration of female empowerment, even though it is. It's not even an examination of substance abuse or mental health, even though it's all of those things. What The Queen's Gambit is, more than any one other thing, is a love letter to chess. And this would be a pretty boring series if it wasn't for Anya Taylor-Joy and the cinematic way in which they've actually depicted the game of chess. I don't think chess is boring, but watching someone play chess, or having someone condescendingly explain the intricacies of the game to you, is the cinematic equivalent of watching paint dry. As far as I'm concerned, the fact that the series never falls into that trap is a revelation in of itself. There are scenes in the series where Beth will revisit her previous games and she'll watch them play out in these haunting, ominous matches that loom over the top of her. It's a stylish explanation to show just how incredible a prodigy she is, and it works very, very well to show the inner workings of her strategetic cognition. It also looks really cool. I really like how the character of Beth is depicted throughout the series. Even though she's supposed to be this incredible child prodigy, she goes through some pretty phenomenal character growth. She's at times determined, cold, clinical, cynical, selfish, but she's never unlikable. She's never just content to let her natural skill carry her either. The series goes to great lengths to show just how much work she actually puts into developing her skill set. And it's a great message for this true story. Only it's not. It's not a true story. How did I think it was a true story? It has the attention to detail of a series that could be a true story, but it's not. So that was surprising. Kind of feel like a bit of a twit that 4 episodes went by before I bothered to research it, to be honest. The more you know. I think that shows just how much love and care actually went into crafting this story. It never sets out to create a villain, and all the characters just come off as really fully formed. I kept waiting for the other shoe to drop. In her coming-of-age story, Beth meets quite a few characters, and every time they were introduced, my movie mind just kept leaping to the well-worn stereotypes. Take, for example, the first episode, where Beth meets the custodian. I kept thinking, oh, I know where this is going to go. He's going to be creepy, he's going to be inappropriate, she's going to be taken advantage of. Nope. He's just a genuine, if slightly curmudgeoned old man who takes to the precocious little girl who wants to play chess. And there are so many more moments like this throughout this show. I kept waiting to see who would become the villain, or which male character was going to tell Beth that she didn't belong in their chess world, and it just never really happened. Hell, even when it looked like it was going to happen, and some characters would come in and start their arc as assholes, they were just never that two-dimensional. It was, quite frankly, refreshing for a show to approach characters as something other than stereotypes or caricatures. The character I initially hated the most ended up becoming my favourite character in the entire series. Even the big bad Russian who Beth is on a collision course to conquer never really becomes the monster we assume him to be. Another thing I really liked about the show was that it created its own world. The world of chess is treated like an elite society with its own rules and customs, and I always find it super cool when a show can create something interesting like that. Since The Queen's Gambit premiered, there's been a massive resurgence in the game of chess, and it's not hard to see why when it's treated as awesomely as it is in this show. It's almost like a fairy tale at times. I'll give another special shout out to the music and the score. There are some absolutely banging 1960s tunes here that make the grade, and some of the arrangements make the chess games we're watching absolutely thrilling throughout. Anyways, I really don't want to spoil too much about this series for those people that haven't seen it yet. It's a fast watch 7-episode one and done series. You could knock it over across a long weekend quite easily. In fact, the only negatives I can really come up with or really dwell on here is the fact that the series takes place across a couple of years. The scenes with Beth as a kid are really easy to follow. They're easy to differentiate because they used a different actress. But when she's a teenager/adult, I sometimes lost track of how much time had passed between scenes or episodes. A different haircut doesn't always sell the passage of time. It's a nitpick in the overall scheme of things. I give The Queen's Gambit an A-. Checkmate. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you've seen The Queen's Gambit, I'm keen to know what you thought of it. You should let me know in the comments below. If you think there's any movies that I need to see or watch in the coming days to review, you should let me know that as well. As always, look forward to more reviews coming soon. Later days.